I'm 17. I should be spending my Wednesday afternoons with friends or family, but instead I'm here with y'all. I'm here because every single day I have to worry about which liberties Republican legislators are going to choose to gut next. They started by refusing to take action against gun violence and destroyed your right to peace of mind about something as simple as sending your child to school. Then they came for your right to make the most basic reproductive health care decisions that were right for you and your family. This time, they're coming for every North Carolinian's right to fair representation. This legislature is made up of the same people who have drawn maps that intentionally disenfranchise and limit the power of historically marginalized and minority voters. These are the same people who have proven to us time and time again through their voting record that they don't care. If these people cannot be trusted to protect our most basic rights, how can we trust them to draw fair and impartial maps that will promote a healthy and vibrant democracy? They can't. We can't trust them.
The folks in charge here in North Carolina may not have liked that this 17-year-old decided to ignore their weird standard of staying in your place, but he wasn't lying about any of the things that they're doing. And I get the feeling that they weren't too interested in listening from the look on this guy's face the whole time. But what he finished telling them was unequivocally true.
The Republicans in this committee and the others in the House and Senate don't care about democracy. They don't care about fair maps. All they care about are three simple things: re-election, power, and dollar signs. This redistricting stunt is a clear power grab by Republicans in the General Assembly. So I urge you now, watch your step. Be very careful in what you choose to do, because young people like me are watching, and young people like me are fed up.
He said they don't care about democracy, but only about re-election, power, and money. And if they don't like it, they should try not to prove him right at every turn.
We do not want to be a democracy. Originally, congressmen were elected by a direct democracy, senators were elected by their state legislatures, and presidents are elected by the Electoral College. We are devolving into a democracy because now congressmen and senators are elected by the same pool, a direct democracy. And with the national popular vote coming, we're going to be electing our president by a direct democracy too. Bad idea.
She's worried about the United States devolving into a democracy. Devolving. So we've got politicians warning everyone about socialism because people want their tax dollars to actually work for them, while the people on this side literally call for the end of democracy. They don't like hearing young Americans speak their minds, but the reasons for these Washington state Republicans' opposition to democracy is more childlike than even I could have imagined.
As Danny Westnate at the Seattle Times reported, delegates of the Washington State Republican Convention then stood up one by one to argue that the U.S. should repeal the 17th Amendment, which allows us to vote for our United States senators. After that resolution passed, they went bigger. They voted to put this language into their platform. Quote, "We encourage Republicans to substitute the words republic and republicanism where previously they have used the word democracy. Every time the word democracy is used favorably, it serves to promote the principles of the Democratic Party, the principles of which we ardently oppose." Quote, "We oppose legislation which makes our nation more democratic in nature."
So I guess they want something like the Whig Party to come back, so that the term democracy won't promote Democrats too much. They literally oppose democracy because it makes their brains think about Democrats. They just say anything and don't care how ridiculous it is. They claim Democrats are the reason for the significant division in the country, but they illustrate their disdain for compromise like every day.
Yeah, that's what this is. The Uniparty is make Ukraine great again. The Uniparty is all about funding every single foreign war. They think this is the business model that needs to be done. There you go. Put that up there. That's what he's got. Yeah, thank you.
Marjorie Taylor Greene had hats made for her self-promotional press conference. By the way, there's nothing wrong with Greene opposing funding for conflicts overseas. Some Democrats oppose the money that we're sending to Israel to continue their massacre of innocent Palestinians. But when your opposition is simply because you don't like that Mike Johnson broke his promise and spoke to Democrats to advance anything in Congress because it'll hurt both Trump and Vladimir Putin's goals, that's just hostility for how our system of government works. You don't just get your way because you yell more than everyone else. The idea of a divided Congress having to compromise with each other is Marjorie Taylor Greene's idea of the government not working. So she's leaning harder into her chaos.
I think the American people, by the way, who I represent, I think the American people need to see a recorded vote of does the members of Congress support the uniparty? Is this what they support? I think every member of Congress needs to take that vote and let the chips fall where they may. And so next week, I am going to be calling this motion to vacate. Absolutely calling it.
The threats to call for the motion to vacate Moses Johnson's speakership has gone from insinuating it to threatening it every other day and now giving a general time frame of next week. She knows it's a dead-end idea, so she's been wielding it around like a weapon against him to see if enough of her colleagues are willing to be embarrassed again.
We are passing the Democrat agenda each and every day that we're here. We have a slim majority in the House, and everything's being passed overwhelmingly with Democrat support. So it makes no difference to me if it's Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker or Mike Johnson right now.
I don't think it makes him weaker. I mean, Mike's, he's under siege in a lot of different areas, and I think he feels that now.
Are you comfortable with Democrats voting to keep Michael Johnson in the speakership?
No, I'm not.
Why?
Because Hakeem Jeffries should be the speaker.
And that last comment coming from progressive Democrat Jamal Bowman, who disagrees with Hakeem Jeffries' approach on this.
I'm not sure how she didn't see that coming, but Democrats' plan of saving Johnson from her playing the Trump card, even though many don't support his stances on much of anything, it's how divided government works. It's a concept that keeps escaping her.
I can't wait to see Democrats go out and support a Republican speaker and have to go home to their primaries and have to run for Congress again, having supported a Republican speaker, a Christian conservative. I think that'll play well. I'm excited about it. And I also can't wait to see my Republican conference show their cards and show who we are, because voters deserve it.
The childlike assumptions are their guiding light. Just because they've cultivated a base of supporters and state-level officials that can't stomach the thought of an opposition party existing, Greene thinks that Democrats voting to keep Congress open and able to pass anything will anger their constituents simply because they're working with Johnson. And if a party wants more control of the bills that are voted on, they need to appeal to enough voters to send them to Congress. But that's too much work and requires people to connect with and represent constituents, and not just themselves.
House Democratic leadership just announced that they would vote to table a motion to vacate, effectively saving your job for you. What's your reaction to that?
First, I've heard of it. Look, I have to do my job. We have to do what we believe to be the right thing. What the country needs right now is a functioning Congress. They need a Congress that works well, works together, and does not hamper its own ability to solve these problems. And so we saw what happened with the motion to vacate the last time. Congress was closed for 3 weeks. No one can afford for that to happen. And so we need people who are serious about the job here to continue to do that job and get it done. We shouldn't be playing politics and engaging in the chaos that looks like palace intrigue here. We need to be doing the job.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm.
No fan of yours.
Bless her heart, yeah.
Is she a serious lawmaker?
I don't think she's proving to be, no. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about her. I've got to do my job.
It looks like Johnson is building up the nerve to say what it seems like he's always been afraid of saying. And even though he agrees with many of her wild stances, there's no useful endgame to her approach to legislating. So his frenemy list is slowly growing with the children in Congress. So things are obviously going to get worse.
Go ahead.
So that charge is leveled from Mike Johnson against Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're saying that he said she's not a serious lawmaker? Is that right?
In an interview last night.
Okay, in an interview last night. She's the most serious representative up here. If you listen to the speech that she just gave, she captured exactly what Republicans back home are thinking.